So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Women's eNews Editor-in-Chief, Rita Henley Jensen. You okay? You all right?
And thank you, Cheryl, for doing such a great job emceeing. Well, as she said, we met at this Columbia Graduate School panel. What do women want? Oh, please. Is it really that hard? All right. What women want is Women's eNews. So, good evening. And it's such a fabulous evening. It is our 6th annual Women's eNews, 21 leaders for the 21st century. And people are telling me it just gets better every year. So, welcome. I'm so delighted you're all here. It's really great. It's so much fun. Maybe I'm enjoying it more each year because I relax a little bit more each year. I have special thanks to both my daughters, Ariel and Shasta. They're here. They both have careers and small children. And I'm very thankful that they agreed to stay up this late to join us. It usually doesn't happen. Really. And we have special thanks to Lifetime Television. When you get your goodie bags on your way out, and please don't forget them, you'll thank Lifetime too. They're fabulous. So thank you, Lifetime. Thank you, Mary Kay Inc. Mary Kay Inc. supported our special report on domestic violence, and there's a copy in your goodie bags. We've never been prouder of our work. Thank you, Mary Kay. Thank you, Amy McPoland. She's here at my table. Because of her, we have Nancy Drew video games for your daughters. Yay! Is that wild or what? That's so fantastic. And Oscar De La Renta gave us free samples of wonderful scents. You have already met some of this year's Women's eNews leaders, and I swear, in just a few minutes, you'll meet some more. But right now, I just wanted to take a moment to talk about why your support of Women's eNews is so incredibly important. First, I want you to meet an old friend of mine who I met for the first time tonight, but to whom I have been enormously grateful for more than 3 decades. Way back in the 1970s, I was a student at Ohio State University raising my daughters on my own and part of an organization called Single Mother Support Group. We'd put up posters on the campus seeking new members that mentioned at the bottom that we offered emergency shelter. As you can imagine, we were quickly overwhelmed by women escaping family violence, and we were in over our heads. I read a small item in Ms. Magazine saying that a woman in Massachusetts had established a battered women's shelter, and for information on how to do it, I could write her, Betsy Warrior, and it gave it the address. I did. I got the packet of information in return mail, and Sojourner House now assists more than 100,000 women and families each year in Central Ohio. And by the way, Betsy, as you heard tonight, is still very active in promoting women's rights. This is the power that Women's eNews unleashes. You've met 10 impressive leaders so far, and there'll be more to come. Imagine all the women who have been inspired to do more because they read or heard about their work through Women's eNews. Our event is structured the way it is so each of you get a sense of how Women's eNews journalists gather the news we deliver to you every day, seeking out women and men, taking a stand to improve women's lives, and gathering the related data, seeking other comments, providing the opportunity to be heard and perhaps imitated around the world. Women's eNews exists because no other news media serves our interest. For example, Washington Post, the must-read by our nation's policymakers, women are a mere 1 in 10 of the contributors on the op-ed page. And this is my favorite example. Researchers found that only 2.7% of the stories in 52 sample newspapers, 2.7% of the stories focused on women on weekdays and 3% on weekdays, on Sundays. 3% on Sundays. You know, the wedding pages. I read them too, but really. I know, right? So, by the way, the systematic exclusion of women as managers, sources, commentators, and focus of the news is worldwide. The statistics swing one way or the other, nation to nation, yet the overall picture remains the same. We are not heard. Our leaders are ignored or mocked, and our issues are not being addressed. And this is where Women's eNews comes in. As a global news service, we spread the word, documenting and explaining the special concerns of women, covering the debates, pro and con, over crucial issues affecting our lives, and highlighting the exciting leaders who are seizing the moment to address our concerns. We have more than 300,000 visitors to our website each month, and 400,000 subscribers who forward our news far and wide, and along the way, we have won 26 journalism awards. And by the way, we've also developed Arabic Women's eNews. And Noad, you're here. Please take a bow. Noad is the editor of our Arabic site. She is from Lebanon. Her family is from Tripoli. And we're so excited that she's with us and that she's safe and with us. So in the year that she's been with us, she's doubled the readership of the Arabic site. It's fantastic. Thank you, Noad. It's really, and it's working. It's sort of miraculous. It surprises me all the time. Just last week, I received this email from Nadia Al-Sakaf, publisher and editor-in-chief of Yemen Times, asking for permission to reprint our article, Women Put Their Mark on Mid-East Peace Efforts. And she wrote me, "We feel that we could send a message to the Yemeni women to take part and ownership in their struggle for freedom and justice." This is what I call the Betsy Warrior effect. And we're doing it every day. We are making internet history and perhaps reshaping world history by doing so, with the help of people like Betsy Warrior, like Al-Shakif, and all of you. Thank you so much for coming tonight. It's just fabulous. And now we're moving on to the next really exciting part of our program. Well, we're trying to redesign and reshape the media environment for women. As most of you know, Wangari Maathai is reshaping the world's atmosphere. The Nobel Peace Prize laureate and Women's eNews 21 leader for the 21st century in 2005 is honorary chair of our event this year. And the two of us collaborated in putting together a remarkable opportunity for our guests. An auction to benefit both of our organizations, a Greenbelt Safari to Kenya, visiting the region where Wangari has planted nearly 40 million trees. 40 million trees. Wangari has caused 40 million trees to be planted in Kenya and created a sustainable economy for the women involved. If you go on the safari, guess what? You get to meet Wangari too. And this is what Wangari told us about what she's doing when she was a 21 leader in 2005.
I want to say that the message that I should give you is the message that the Norwegian Nobel Committee wanted to give to the world in the year 2004. And it was to urge us as a human species to rethink our concept of peace and security, to rethink our relationship with the earth and with the other species, and to appreciate that we need to manage these resources, the environment, both natural and man-made, sustainably, responsibly, accountably.
And the point for Wangari is that peace and security means there's ample food, ample water, and that there's basic justice. And through what she does, planting trees and creating economic opportunity, that's the way for peace and justice in Eastern Africa. So she is fantastic. However, we have a little problem with our plan. It went awry. Yes, we plan to have this, and it's in your program and everything. But a donor who could not be here tonight with us pleaded to let him buy the safari for $30,000. Wow. I know, right? And so we didn't want to say yes right away, but we did, I know, right? We reluctantly agreed because we were anticipating having, we wanted to have fun with this auction. So we said yes because the donor says it's good money for two good causes, and who could argue with that? Nevertheless, Wangari weighed in now, and she generally has offered she's agreed to offer one more safari tonight in hopes that someone will match our donor's gift at $30,000. And by the way, it's like, I know, it's this fabulous trip, incredibly luxury trip, and you meet Wangari to Kenya. So Chris, where are you? Here comes Chris. Chris is Wangari's and the Green Belt Movement's representative. Is it true that another donor bought the trip for $30 and we're willing to do it again?
We are indeed.
All right. So
Yeah, we are indeed.
Tell us about this trip.
This will be a trip of a lifetime. You will get to see the work of the Green Belt Movement, to meet the women and the communities and see the tree planting and the effect that it's had. But on top of that, you will see Kenya's most wonderful, beautiful, exotic wildlife areas, and you will have the chance to see incredible places and have wonderful experiences in Africa. So please bid up this trip for the good of the Women's eNews and the Green Belt Movement. The trip is for two people, but if you want to take many friends and you can persuade them to pay as well, we'd be delighted to take a larger group. The accommodations will be in Kenya's most beautiful lodges. Kenya has a number of small, extremely high-quality lodges, and these are the accommodations that we will use on this trip. It will be something quite extraordinary and a wonderful way to experience Africa. 10 days. 10 days.
All right, so that's fairly cheap. That's only $3,000 a day.
Cheap.
Cheap.
A bargain.
A bargain. And I have to tell you that, what Wangari is doing, transforming an entire environment, it's amazing. So, are we ready? We're ready? Are there any bidders on this trip? Yes. Pardon? 40,000. 30. Sorry. I made a mistake. It's only 30. Only 30. We have 30,000. 30,000. Do we have any higher bids? 30,000. Do we have any bids? Wait a minute. There's. I can't. All right, 30. 35. 40. 40. Do we have a 42? All right, sold for 40. Thank you.
We could do everyone that's bid.
What?
We can do everyone that's bid.
Who else bid? Oh, wait a minute. Somebody. Who else bid?
Who we got?
Two? Two trips. All right, we'll work out the details with you. All right. Thank you very much.